Good evening, everyone. I, Anjali Chanu Morangthen from Manipur Shakti, welcome you all to Yuwa Shakti Abhiyan organized by Manipur Shakti. At the outset, I request Professor Asha Gupta, President Manipur Shakti, to start the program with a Shanti prayer.
Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Ishavasya sarvam Yatkincha Jagatyam Jagat Tena Tyaktena Bhunjitha Magridah Kasya Svidhanam Vidyam cha avidyam cha yastadvedo bhayam sah avidyaya mrityum tirtva vidyayamrit mashnute. Over to Anjali.
Honorable Shri S. Sanahal Sharma, today's resource person, Professor Asha Gupta, President Manipur Shakti, invitees, organizing team members, and their participants. Shakti is a national movement for women for their empowerment through the application of science, technology, and innovation. Yuva Shakti Abhiyan is a youth transformation program of National Shakti, ensuring personality development of youth through its program. Manipur Shakti, though recently established in December 2020, has undertaken a number of activities. Three participants from Manipur Shakti in the month of November participated in entrepreneurship training program organized by National Shakti in collaboration with M. Giri. Varda. Yuva Shakti Abhiyan is a series of 7 lectures in the first program on personality development for youth undertaken by Manipur Shakti. I welcome Shri Sanahal Sharma, Deputy Manager SBI, who is currently managing digital banking department for SBI in Manipur. He is resource person in today's webinar on digital banking and cyber security awareness. A very significant topic, as most of us use digital banking in our day-to-day life. In banking, there is possibility of data threats, so we must have the way to mitigate the threats by providing increased security against potential data breach. Last year, it is learned that there were a number of cyber attacks which were very advanced than the earlier attacks. Using advanced technology, including through internet banking sensitivity data, could be a risk, creating serious financial problem. So we are fortunate to have you, sir, with us, who has kindly accepted our request to talk at length about this problem. I welcome you, sir, on behalf of Manipur Shakti. Now I welcome Professor Asha Gupta, President Manipur Shakti, who is tirelessly working and undertaking various projects in Manipur Shakti. I welcome all invitees and participants from different colleges and institutes for their enthusiasm and participation in 7-day program of Yuva Shakti Abhiyan. Lastly, I welcome all the members of Shakti for their support in all the activities. Now I request Dr. Ranita, Assistant Professor Environmental Science, Moirang College, to introduce our resource person, Shri Sanahal Sharma.
Thank you, Anjali. Good evening, everyone. Now let me introduce our guest speaker, Sanahal Sharma, for today's webinar. Before this, I'm very thankful to Manipur Shakti for giving me this opportunity. Sanahal Sharma has completed BE in Electronics and Telecommunications from VTU University, Karnataka. He is presently the Deputy Manager, SBI. In the last 5 years, he was Field Officer in SBI Imphal branch, also Branch Manager in SBI Uripok branch, and currently handling Digital Banking Department at SBI Regional Business Office, Babupara, Imphal. He is also currently holding the post of Regional Secretary of SBI Officers Association Imphal and the Vice President and spokesperson of AIBOC, that means All India Bank Officers Confederation, Manipur State. So this is all about our guest speaker for today's program. And thank you all once again.
Now I request Shri Sanahal Sharma, resource person of today's webinar, to deliver his speech. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. I would like to thank Ma'am Dr. Asa Gupta for giving me this opportunity to speak in this forum and the team of Yuwa Shakti Abhiyan. Before we start, I would like to go a bit into the history of how this country has evolved financially. Since our market, the Indian economy was open in the 90s under Manmohan Singh when he was the finance minister, FDI exposure, then private banks started coming in. Now, with the coming in of private banks, banking industry went through a transformation, and all this led to a competition, not only in terms of business, but also in terms of technology. Now, technology, as we know, today in this era, we have three types. One, we have the banks, then we have the NBFCs, non-banking financial companies, then we have the fintechs. Now, fintechs are not required to actually start a bank to give loan or give any sort of branch. Now, example of fintechs are Paytm. We have now Amazon Pay has started. Now we have even in Flipkart. Now all these online portals, all this banking setup has gone through a drastic change. In last, we can say 5 years, there is a sudden rush of digitization. Now digitization is a prime focus of the government of India too. Now the government wants that our digitization in the whole country should be completed by maybe 2023. It should be at its peak, which technically is not possible. For example, I would like to state that in SBI we have 46 crore, 46 crore customers. Of that, digital banking has been adopted by about 1 crore, which is a very big amount that is left to be achieved. So today we'll be doing this presentation on digital banking. Now, different types of digital banking as currently which we are using are mobile banking, app-based, that is commonly used as UPI. Now, this UPI is the one I'm talking about, which are commonly being used by all the online shopping, Amazon Pay, Flipkart. This is all form of UPI. And internet banking, as we know that it exists since long. Now, the simple perks of online banking is that we save time. We don't need to visit the branch, or we can do in-hand calculation of loans, whatever inquiry that a customer wants to do. It can be at the tip of his fingers. So this is a very good mode of banking. Now, mobile banking, ever since we have started using smartphone, this mobile banking has become a very important tool for our own banking purpose. Now, as our Prime Minister says that every home or every house should be a banking network. It is his vision that mobile banking should be there, available to each and every individual or each and every citizen of India. Now, popular apps that UPI. UPI is Unified Payment Interface, which is currently the most popular app that without knowingly customers are using. Now we have Google Pay, we have Phone Pay, Paytm, then Bhim app is available for each and every bank that you know. Then we have MobiWik. These are some examples: Uber, Chiller, Paytm, this SBI Bhim Pay, iMobile, Axis Pay. these are all modes of UPI, which is one of the most easiest way of accessing to banking network, and it is a very, very safe this thing. This UPI app doesn't need your account number. It has a very distinct provision that you can use as, for example, my name is Sanahal, so I can use my UPI as Sanahal at the rate whichever SBI or Paytm. So I do have my UPI in the name of Sanahal at the rate SBI. So this gives a cover security that a customer or a particular people cannot get access of your this thing account number. The only thing catch point that in terms of cyber security, if you come to this point, is that once you link in, for example, with Google Pay your account, they have access to your network or bank listing. Now, we have been using internet banking since long. Since most of the banks have started internet banking long way. Now we use this on an internet or desktop or laptop, which we can transfer money. This I think everyone will be knowing. Now, just basic difference of internet banking and mobile banking. Most of the things are very similar, except that one features requires you to use a laptop, a desktop, and mobile banking, you have to use your smartphone. Now, in addition to this smartphone, even we have this SMS banking, which is still in existence because most of our citizens in rural area still use this manual phone, not the smartphone. So for them, mobile banking is access to SMS. So that's it. So you have internet in your mobile, data is free. Then internet banking you have in your laptop or desktop, you go through your LAN. That's it. Now, Government of India, this Cyber Surakshit Bharat, this is a very important initiative taken by the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. We call them MeitY, for the vision of digital India. Now, what the government is trying is, the government has been trying to train most of the frontline workers in government departments on digital this thing. This is a very important initiative because most of the data right now, even from payment of salary to payment of even pension and all, has been migrated. Now, most of them are directly handled by the government departments and paid through RBI. We use digital signature for all these things. So the employees have to be trained first. It is a very important tool, and this training the government has started with a public partner private partnership, and this training is going on. It's a very recurring this thing that most of the departments are initiating training for their own employees, so that in future Cyber Surakshit Bharat and the vision for digital India is realized. Now we have another this thing, malware protection. Now this also is a scheme that was launched by central government, that Cyber Swachhta Kendra. Now Cyber Swachhta Kendra was launched because to protect from malware this thing. This centers like this comes with free tools to remove all your omit them. Along with Cyber Swachhta initiative, the government has also set up a department to generate. Now, National Cyber Coordination Center. This is a very important department that has been set up by the government of India to give protection against malware this thing, this hacking or any sort of this thing. So this is department actually deals. We will be actually contacting this particular department in terms of any sort of cyber crime or cyber security. Now, the government of India has also launched a very important bill, that is the Personal Data Protection Bill. Now, this bill was tabled by the Union government in 2019. It still has some changes that is coming in, but it is a very important tool that was put up in Parliament for protection of this personal data of the citizens of India. Now let's come to this actual cyber security thing. Now cyber security starts with hacking. Now hacking, what is hacking? Hacking, if you simply define it, is a way of intruding into your system or network without you actually knowing it. Now this has three different ways: by exploiting vulnerability of the host. Now vulnerability of the host is by blackmailing us, which we will come in, by stealing password, or by gaining control over the host using remote access tools or backdoors. We'll come in details for this particular thing. Now hacking actually, when it happens, you don't know it is actually happening, and this is the very important that information that we need to know, that when someone trustworthy or any person asks for your details or your OTP, or in fact anything, we should keep it very, very, very secret. That's it. And it leads to loss, financial loss of the this thing also, the particular person. Now let's come to reason for hacking. See, reason for hacking is this, as we know, stealing your personal data, bank account numbers, your password, or it may be for destroying your data. Now data can be destroyed by using viruses, and denying legitimate access to resources. This DOS attack and this ransom attack, all these things will come in hacking. Now, who are the risks of hacking attacks? Actually, this hacking attack is mostly affecting like internet security firms. Now, their servers, website contains best security, therefore making them a very challenging target for hackers. Now, some people hack because they love it. Now, we will come what type of hackers do come in. Then we have this high-profile media-friendly targets. Now, these are large corporate websites, political party sites, celebrity sites. Now, in this political party site, see this Russia-Ukraine, the Russian government, this one was hacked by anonymous group. One anonymous group has just hacked this Russian government site yesterday. Now, anyone with website, and the most popular website that hackers find very easy to steal data is the e-commerce website. So when you go surf into Amazon, buy things online, I request don't save your password. There is an option of saving your password automatically. And always on broadband connection. When you are in broadband connection, what happens is you are giving this access to your laptop to the network, so they can steal your data. Now, practically everyone with internet access is also vulnerable to the attack. Now, even our mobile phone is also vulnerable. We have these settings that you go through, that auto. When you use a password, don't save that password in any of your mobile or even in your laptop. Skills of a hacker. Here comes actually who is a hacker. Now, a hacker is an expert in the field of networking, operating systems, application, programming, scripting, database. That means they are actually expert in their own field. Now, every sort of this thing, this antivirus that we develop to stop hacking or to get this virus, protect our laptop from virus, is because these hackers are expert. They are professionals. First, they know how to track, and then we create this antivirus. So we are always running behind them in this scenario. Now, there are two types of hacker actually. This is a very, one, the structured hackers, and one, unstructured hackers. Now, structured hackers, they are professional hackers. They are professional hackers, and they have a very good knowledge of operating system, applications, and networks. They can create their own tools for hacking. This is a very important point, because they know how to get the weakness of a particular system. They know how to get into a particular network, they are classified into 3 types. Now, 3 types of structured hackers are black hat hackers, white hat hackers, gray hat hackers. Now, let's get into the types of these hackers. Now, black hat hackers break into computer network with intention of taking control of network resources, stealing data or destroying data. Now, these black hat hackers, actually they do this, some hackers, they do just for their particular hobby. They love hacking, so they get into this, like even the network of NASA has been hacked by these black hat hackers only, because they love the challenges of hacking into a system. Now we have the white hat hackers. Hackers break into computer network with the intention of identifying the weakness of a computer system or a network and patching those weaknesses found, so that a black hat hacker cannot take control of computer system or network and damage precious resources. Now these white hat hackers and black hat hackers, it's, you see this combination. One tries to get into the system and steal, and these white hackers try to stop. White hat hackers actually exist for the government also. This government trained white hat hackers, they do keep some people, so they stop the black hat hackers from getting into system. Now, a gray hat hackers is a combination of both. Now, this is the more experienced group of hackers. This type of hackers are the experts in both cracking as well as protecting. Now, he or she can work both black hat or as a white hat, depending on the situation on hand. And these are the ones who actually, in that, when we get into cyber crime, all those things, these are the guys that government normally catch to find out what or where the thing has started from. Now, unstructured hacker, this is a very simple. This even a like a small individual, which this is a very common hacking that is happening in India, and usually it is happening through phone call from small centers from Noida or from this Patna, Bihar side. This is happening, and these are unstructured hackers. But what happens is they play with the emotions of the people. They have very basic knowledge of computer, but most of the time they don't even know the consequences of these activities. Now they do it, they steal, then they this type of hackers normally do get caught because of the network. How does hacking affects an organization? Now, hacking attacks can be a very serious effect on an organization. It can lead to information theft, identity theft, unavailability of resources, direct or indirect financial loss, and bad reputation. Now, these things, let's come in details. This has, because of this, it has created a network challenge. As today's network are becoming more complex with variety of devices connected and services being offered, it is very difficult to manage all network resources and keeping track of vulnerability. This is the new problem. Now, as we go on expansion, as we go on digital mode, what happens? We get into LAN, we increase our like consumption of data broadband, whether in LAN. Once we used to have a simple broadband for the whole office, but now we take like Mbps, in 2 Mbps, 3 Mbps, 100 Mbps. Now, as this network becomes more access to all systems with faster network, now this creates a network challenge. Now, that is the problem for the whole system departments. Now, who are the threat actors? Now, threat actors actually, see, we have the cyber criminals, advanced persistent threat groups. These are the people who try to get into the system. And then we have in another, our very this important departments like national states, the support system, and the military agencies, the professional hackers. Then another one is the disgruntled employees. This is also a very important form of this thing, plays a very important role. Now, key threat vectors, these are what types of hacking and what types of these things are there, ways of convincing or hacking or getting into person network. Now we have malware, now phishing, spear phishing, spoofing, ransomware, insider threat. Now if you go into this detail, these are all done through virus, worms, rootkits, ransomware, spy keyloggers, stagware, trojan. These are some types of uh, ways in which the hacker can hack the system. And this malware, phishing, speech, these are types of how the customer, this client or the individual systems are hacked. Now, see, malware software is any program or file that impacts confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Now, this is that type of this thing. Then a malicious program that can spread and affect your computer. This everyone should be knowing. That's why we have antivirus. Worm, a malware that replicates itself in order to spread to other computers, different from virus, or as it self-replicates and does not require a host for propagation. Now we also have another spyware, a malicious software that gathers information about the user and transmit it into an unauthorized third party. Example, keyloggers. These people steal your data. Now keylogger software, a malicious program tracks and records consecutive. See, keylogger, because of this keylogger only, now you have this virtual keyboard when you log in into internet banking. Please remember this. It is very preferable that when you use your internet banking or try to log in, use the virtual keyboard so that the keylogger, this crime can be prevented. And Trojan or Trojan horse, this we have been hearing a long time. When you play a particular game, they can steal your software. Using that, they will steal your personal data. Sorry. Now, rootkit, a program or collective software tool that gives a threat actor remote access to or control over a computer or other system. Now, this is a very dangerous this thing, rootkit. It's a very dangerous program. Now, let's come into details of what is phishing or spear phishing. Phishing, spear phishing, as we discussed, it's an act of fraudsters to obtain anything. It is trying to obtain your sensitive information, such as your username, password, system information, by disguising themselves as trustworthy entity in an electronic communication. That is why we say, like, when we start a communication, it also has to be from a confirmed source, or don't click on any unauthorized link or SMS. We will come into that. Now, next is this technique that you use is another technique is social engineering method. Now, social engineering method use your human traits, curiosity, and concern around. That means they play with your emotions. They study your Facebook profile, they study your Instagram, Twitter profile, and then they get back to you. This is how most of the hackers get a very easy access, since they know your personal data. Now, smishing. Smishing, anything that happens through SMS to track your information is smishing, and anything that happens through your over voice. For example, right now we are communicating, and if I call someone as a branch manager, and your ATM card will be blocked, then you have to give your this thing OTP so that your card is not blocked. Then a customer, because of this thing, the immediate action that needed, that card will be blocked or ATM will be blocked, he shares that OTP. Now, those type of voice phishing, that is phishing. This is voice phishing, is an act of leverage voice over internet protocol in using the telephone system to falsely claim to be a legitimate enterprise. Now, phishing is the easiest and popular ways of method to used by hackers to steal private information such as username, password, credit card details by impersonating a legitimate entity. So please don't believe if one says that I'm from the bank, I'm the branch manager calling, because normally if our details are pending, then banks normally send SMS, and in SMS normally there will be no links. No links will be sent by banks to click on the particular link. So please don't click on any particular link, because those are all fakes, and we don't send links on email, because this is also a very easy way that they manipulate, the hackers. Now what happens, this is just an example of how a hacker gets into your system, and then they get your details. See, they send the site to your system. Now once you visit that particular site and click on it, then the victim's browser execute malicious scripts and unknowing. That is why we always say that, delete cookies. Once you get after or use a particular website, even in your laptop or even in your mobile phone, delete your cookies, so that whatever details are there that has been saved automatically by the system will be deleted, and your mobile will be safe. Like for example, today we are having our meet in this Google Meet. Now this HTTPS, now this S thing, that it's a very small word, single word actually. But what happens is, this is what saves your system until any sort of, whether you visit a website, whether you visit any banking this thing. If this doesn't turn green, please don't enter that particular this thing browser, because it has malicious this thing worms, or antivirus is not able to catch that particular this thing virus. So please to maintain it, you have to go through search engine. Whenever you go to search engine, please see that this should turn green. Now, as we have already discussed, there are certain tips of spotting the phishing. Now, if like first one is authority. Now, is the sender claiming to be someone official, like from your bank, your doctor, your solicitor, or your government department, or from your college, whatever. Now, they very much, a hacker knows how to play with the this thing, our people's mindset. So for this, they give mail in a very authoritative manner, which people are forced to believe. Then urgency. Are you told that you have limited time? That I would say like 24 hours or immediately. So if I say someone, like I call and say like, your ATM card will be blocked until and unless you provide your KYC immediately or give me the OTP. Now, due to that urgent this thing, the customer is forced to share some particular data which he is not supposed to. Now, emotions. Does the message make you panic, fearful, hopeful, or curious? Now, these three things: panic, if suddenly what I told, like ATM will be blocked, account will be blocked, or fearful that you'll be losing your money, hopeful that you're going to win some lottery, or curious that you have won a $1 million or £1 million lottery, and you have to give 25,000 in advance. So those things, when they play with our emotions, which we are forced to believe, because we get the SMS, they'll send you SMS, they'll send you email, and make you believe in whatever way it is possible. Now, scarcity is a message of offering someone a short supply, like concert ticket, money. This is happening very common right now. When you because of this Disney Hotstar, Amazon Video, which we have online this thing. Now, once we register in this particular for annual payment, the next moment you'll find that someone is sending you an email. Someone is trying to approach you. You have this. Now, current event. Now, current events, are you expecting to see this message criminal of like this? Some like right now it's happening between Ukraine and Russia. Some war is happening. Then because of this, some anonymous hackers are hacking on this thing, government, Russia's this thing, or people are uploading it on Twitter. They Twitter this thing, they share, they earn money. But this is something which okay, you can ignore, because these things are done on large corporates. Spoofing this, it's a faking the sending address of a transmitter in order to gain illegal entries into secure system. So for this, I would request everyone not to click on any unauthorized email, unauthorized link on your this thing, emails, mails. So please delete as soon as possible, and don't click on any unauthorized link. Now, COVID-19 that I just gave an example is that you are forced to trust on a particular this thing, that it is because of for some donation or for some sort of this thing, they need funding, they make you believe. So please don't click on any unauthorized links. Now, ransomware, see, ransom, the word itself is enough to define it. People demand ransom so that you can get access to your data. Unless a ransom is paid, they will keep this malicious software in your system and deploy it until a particular amount is paid to this group of hackers. This is just an example of ransomware. If it is sent in your this thing, what happened? All you find this documents are blocked. How to get? They ask for particular amount to get your data or give back your data. Now, this ransom node, this one that you are seeing right now, this, if you find in your mobile, then you have to format your mobile actually, because this, until and unless you do it, you will not have access, and you have to pay that particular ransom. They say pay this 48 hours to in like $100 in Bitcoin or something. These are all types of hacking into your mobile, and this is an example of how it happens in your mobile. Now, we insiders threat. This is a very important threat player actually. Now, this happens within the organization, such as current employees who are disgruntled, former employees, vendor employees who have inside information concerning the organization network architecture, security patches, data, and computer system. This is a very important player actually. Now, password cracking techniques. Now, password cracking is a process of this actually is on the right side. You can see that how a particular password are hacked: guessing, soldier surfing, social engineering, brute force attack, dictionary attack, rainbow tables. Now, guessing, these people guess, soldier surfing, will get into these things. Now, what is brute force? Because soldier surfing or guessing, that soldier surfing normally happens when you enter an ATM also, or when you are typing some password and your colleague is standing behind you. Now, in those types, this type of this happen. But brute force, in cryptography, a brute force attack consists of an attacker submitting many password or passphrases with the hope of see this one. When you get SMS in your mobile that you have tried to log into your internet banking, then what is happening, that someone is trying to hack into your internet banking because they know your username, and because of that they are trying to hack into your system. And this attack happens when are tried by people whom you know. Those people try this type of attack. Now, dictionary attack. This dictionary attack, this one, in the beginning, I told you that don't go for auto completion or auto save in your mobile or in your laptop, because what happens, the system guesses your password. When the system guesses your password, because you don't delete your cookies very frequently, it gets saved, and once you try to log in, your password is saved, it starts guessing. And once that your system or your laptop or your mobile is hacked, then the hacker steals all the information. Now, a rainbow table is a pre-count temple. This actually rarely happens. This see, phishing for malware deployment. This is just an example. The email appears to be sent from a trusted source. Now, this type of frauds or this type of hacking happened during our COVID-19 pandemic. Lots of companies, lots of people face this fraud, this one, and it looks very genuine. It looks very genuine. So we have to be very careful when we go through particular email or click on any link. Now, see, why I came up with this Zoom example is that exploitation of new tele-networking infrastructure. Now, ever since COVID-19 started, Zoom, the share market of Zoom, the company has grown a lot, but most of the hacking has happened through Zoom, because they have a particular flow which the hackers very easily get into, and they are now again losing market capital because of this particular this thing drawback on. Now, if we do get into Zoom this thing, so please ensure that our generated ID and meeting password is there, and then we have a close-knit meeting. Now, see, work from home, cybersecurity best practices for employees. Now, this is a very important information. If we are doing work from home, inform your organization if you come across any discrepancy. Frequently back up your data against accidental data. Stay away from PC cleaning, RAM booster software, and freeware. This is very important. See, most of our people, what we do is we download this PC cleaning, RAM booster software from when we are playing through or play from Play Store. Please don't. Whatever your mobile setting has by default given in your phone, please use those only. Don't go for this artificial software because they actually steal your data. Please don't go. And don't play online games on company devices. This is a very important thing. If confidential information is stored in my laptop, or if a mobile is provided by my company, we should not play any sort of games in that particular mobile, because every game is affected by a particular virus, whether it's Trojan or worm, anything. And be mindful of time zone while working from home. This is also very important. And ensure virtual private network and other remote access systems are fully patched. Now, this patching of network is done by your system administrator. If you are going to do work from home, then you will have a system administrator in your office or someone expert in system, and he has to patch your system. Now, let's come to the interesting part. Like most of us now use smartphone, even the kids use smartphone, and children play games on the smartphone. So if you are going to make the children play game on your smartphone, I prefer that you give them a SIM which is not linked to your mobile network and which does not have any other important dealing. This is a very important for mobile listing. Now, in mobile, we have physical security, wireless security, data security, and application security. Let's get into these details. Now, in mobile security, physical security is like how you lock the mobile. Most of us will be through pattern or through this fingerprint. Now we have fingerprint, so physical security is much more safer right now. In wireless security, this is a very important. Keep your 3G, 4G off when not in use, or don't keep your Bluetooth on, and avoid using Wi-Fi in public, because when you use Wi-Fi in public, this juice jacking, that is, they get into your system using that Wi-Fi and hack your mobile. And as far as possible, connect only to the trusted networks. Data security is for you to back up your data regularly. Now we have the cloud server. Most companies provide cloud, or we can back up in our email. So just ensure that you back up your data so that it goes into the server. And if in case you do have a feeling that your mobile has been hacked, then please do reset to factory setting, reset factory setting. Now, this is a very important thing which everyone should know actually. Once you see that your mobile screen is playing up, or you find that lots of pop-ups are coming up in your mobile, then it is advisable that you do the reset factory setting. Now, application security, interception of data, this most important thing when you go for, if you face problem in your mobile, then please see that any operating system update is pending on your mobile. What happens, each operating setting this update actually secures your mobile, and actually because of that only you can be trace the other, if any antivirus is there, they will take care of those things. And install any software from trusted source only, if and preferably don't put any games in your professional, that means on your office mobiles, not on your office. So technically we should remember that. Now, in the starting, as we come to the finishing part, this one, UPI, Unified Payment Interface, you must have heard that lots of fraud have happened in OLX also, whether SIM swap, SIM clone, any DEX. These are types of fraud that have happened through UPI. And RBI has also taken lots of steps, and the government of India has also taken a lot of initiative under cyber security and IT examinations. These things, and any DEX is a very dangerous this thing software, which if it is in your mobile, you would not be knowing that it is in your mobile, and the person will be stealing all your information from your mobile. This any DEX is a very dangerous this thing. And SIM clone is, you are still using the SIM, but another person takes it out, and within 24 hours or 12 hours, say, your whole account is locked. And by the time you go that your SIM is blocked, what is happening with my SIM, your account is hacked and all monies are stolen. Now, this is just a very important end user IS policy. Now, information security policy we have for everything, for desktop users, clean DEX, antivirus, mobile. These are set up by the your company, your employers, and we have to follow those policy very meticulously. This is very important. Now, let's see, avoid hackers call or email, which we have to avoid. We don't know who a hacker is, so preferably don't pick up unknown calls. That I would like to say. And if anybody says, I'm calling from your bank, I'm calling from here, then it is better to know the details and don't provide any OTP or any ATM details or card details, because banks and any financial institute will never ask for your OTP or card details or any sort of confidential data. Now, of late, this SMS which we receive in our mobile, they say your account will be blocked if you don't provide your KYC. Click on the link below. Don't. Any unauthorized SMS or link should not be clicked. And of late, because of the startup of many fintech companies, many companies are offering loans, easy money through SMS only. So preferably don't click on any links. It will harm not only your security, but the whole network, as we talk about this any DEX. So like that. Now, keep net banking PIN and password secret. This is a very common this thing. And change password periodically. Of late, because of RBI norms, changing of password is now mandatory every 90 days. We have to change our password in every 90 days so that the people are not able to guess or hack into your system. Don't share bank details over the phone. Just this one we have already discussed. And do not use public computers for online banking. Of late, because the number of cyber cafes are decreasing, but don't go into cyber cafe for doing your personal or banking transaction, because it is in cyber cafes that they normally have this hacking softwares. So please avoid cyber cafe. Use your mobile phone, use your laptop, or come office LAN, this thing. Now, do not click on links embedded in email or text messages. We have already discussed this. And report any lost card immediately. We have to see, every bank, every institute will have a toll-free number, or if you have your internet banking, there is now a provision to block your card immediately through your internet banking also. We come to the last part of our slide, where to complain. Now, all customers have to complain. This is to this particular https :// cybercrime.gov.in, or now you have to call to the number 1930 if any cyber financial fraud happens. This number 1930 is the latest number, and this one is a Government of India initiative. In addition to this, you can inform to your concerned bank their helpline numbers, or any sort of this branches visit also. So all these options are there. Let's I hope that whatever I have shared, discussed today has been helpful, will be helpful for the whole team. And thank you, ma'am, for your time, and thank you, Yuwa Shakti Abhiyan, for the opportunity. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your wise words and for your thoughts-provoking speech. We are fortunate to have you on this occasion. Now I request Professor Asha Gupta, President Manipur Shakti, to conduct the question and answer session.
Thank you, sir. Sanahal Sharma ji, for giving your time to us. And it is really very thought-provoking. It has helped us, I think, and maybe persons will be asking you questions also. Just to give a brief what you have talked, we know that why we have arranged it, because we know that cybersecurity in digital banking is something that cannot be compromised with. And with the growth in using digital platform and digitalization, we know in the banking industry, it has become more prone to attacks from cyber criminals. Therefore, there is a need that we should have foolproof cyber security that does not compromise with the safety of customers and financial institutions' data and money. You have talked at length on the topic digital banking and cyber security. You have told in the beginning that what are different types of digital banking products. You have told about perks on online banking, app with UPI feature popular in India. A number of them are there which you have told. Then you have talked about internet banking and how it differs from mobile banking. You have talked about cyber Surakshit Bharat, cyber Swachhata initiative of government. Then who are hackers, what type of hackers, what they are doing, what is hacking, why it is done, all those aspects. Then who are at the risk of hacking, you have told. What are risk of hackers? They are really great, they are professionals and they know so many things. You have told the types of hackers. Then you have come to effects of hacking on an organization, how it affects. I think it is not only affecting financially, but also the reputation also of the organization is at stake. Then you have talked about the network security challenges. Who are threat actors? Then what are the key threat factors? Very important. You have talked at length about all those things: malware, phishing, vishing, etc. Many words we were not knowing what are these, but you have explained them very nicely. Then what are the best practices, because now many persons they are taking work from home, so for those employees you have given wise words. And what are the best practices for those employees? Then what is mobile security? Then tips for fraud prevention. A number of tips you have given. and where to report the frauds. The something which I report, and I have noted down, which are very much important to all of us, like avoid Wi-Fi in public. You have to connect to trusted network. Then don't play games, for example, in the professional mobile. It's very important because many, even sometimes they are given to children and children are playing games. So I think parents have to be very aware that their professional mobile should not be shared with the children. Then you have to gate the software or whatever you are gating. It should be from trusted source. Very important, because sometimes we are using the free things which are available. So whether they are troubling us, that is also a you have shared. Then avoid hackers call. That is very important. And then we should not share OTP. Of course, this though we are knowing that we have to not share our OTP or card details. But other aspects also we have told that, for example, you have told RBI norms, that very important, that every 3 months, every 90 days, we should change password. I think it is very important to be safe and secure. Then very important that don't use public places, public computers like cyber cafe, etc. We have to not use for online banking. Even if we are in need or something, we should do from our laptop or mobile, and report the loss for immediately, and where to complain. So this is the gist what sir has said, and very useful. So now I ask our participants, please to ask questions directly to our resource person. Please unmute and ask the question.
Hello,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
hello.
yes, yes, yes,
I'm,
please ask.
I am Dr. Shashi Agarwal, and very first I congratulate you for your very good presentation. Sir, I would like to ask one question. So many times I receive so many international calls,
Hmm.
near about 10 times or 15 times. So what is the meaning of that? All the time I block the numbers. But which type of this fraud is?
No, ma'am, that one you are receiving international call because see, now data is the new oil. Now most of our data is already available to the hackers on our digital platform. Now to avoid this, you have see recently the government of India and RBI had issued that, and even the mobile phone companies have issued that if you do not find the code, the country code will be displayed when you +79 or +9.
Yes,
Indian
yes,
country code is 91. So if you
yes.
see that you don't have any specific this thing dealing with any outside the country, then please avoid those calls because those are done most probably now. Currently, most calls are coming from UAE or Dubai side. Then we say like, I
Belarus,
don't have anything.
sometimes
Yeah, yeah,
Belarus also.
yeah.
Hmm.
So you don't have to receive those calls because if you are not dealing with any international entity or your relatives are not there abroad, avoid those calls because those calls also create, once we accept this call, there is a new type of this thing that they get into our mobile network very easily. So
Okay.
please avoid those calls if you are not expecting any such call. Please avoid.
Sir. Okay, thank you. But one thing I would like to ask one more thing.
Hmm.
I have received one or two calls from uh, state head office, Bombay.
Hmm.
I am state head office. I am talking from state head office Bombay for clearing of your check. So
Hmm.
this type of call also, I thought of that.
No.
This is not true.
No, 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 no. If any call is for example, I have presented a check. Now, any check presented 2 lakhs and above, call
Hmm.
is mandatory. So those calls will definitely come. If you have presented a check and it is a confirmation call, those are not that you have given a check and I'll transfer it. No, it's a confirmation call. So those calls are related to your financial listing. If it is genuine, you can accept because we don't ask for any OTP. If they ask for OTP, bank details, mobile number, then don't share anything on your mobile. That's it. When if they ask for a check clearing, it might be because you have presented, and if it's genuine, you can confirm it. No problem in confirmation, no problem.
Okay. Thank you so much. These are my two doubts. That's why I'm asked. Okay.
Welcome,
Thank
ma'am,
you so
welcome.
much.
Any more question?
Yes, sir. I understand that these days a lot of fraud have been happening and still going on in various level through internet banking and through phone calls and everything. So it's very much aware to the young generations that these are happening and they are trying to avoid it. But how about like old age people? They don't even know what's going on there, but they got a call and they're getting hacked or they are being looted, right? So how do we go ahead and put awareness to this old age people, and how can as a society, how can we help those people who is not aware of what is happening? How do we do that?
Yeah. See, I in the beginning of my slide also, I was saying that public-private partnership is being undertaken by the government to train the employees of various departments. In addition to this, what is happening, all financial institutes are advised by RBI under the financial inclusion program to conduct financial claims. Financial inclusion camps are conducted everywhere and every month, and in rural and most of the remote areas. In addition to this, what is happening is we are going for this this advertisement on radios, then newspaper print, do not share this data. All these things are happening. I myself, I have given more than 100 presentations in this ever since COVID happened. After that, I have been going around because these things, this presentation, most of them happen face to face, because as you spoke about old age or people who are having less knowledge, they have to be given face to face interaction, because this is how we make them understand better. And once this like election will be over in maybe the 5th or so, and these things are there, then again we will be we are always like giving these advertisements, especially on radio, because that's the mass medium that is spread through in rural areas. It actually is not through the electronic media. So radio we use as a very common way of uh, ad, and we conduct regular financial program. Each bank has a budget that is given by the finance ministry under the guidance of RBI to conduct this such type of financial awareness and inclusion program. So we are doing that, and that's it.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Anjali, you may ask your question.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, sir, for the amazing presentation. Personally, today I have learned so many new things about transaction banking, hacking, etc. So, sir, I just have a simple question. That is, when we search for a page on Google, so many similar page, so many similar link pop up on our screen for the same. So, how would we know that the link which is coming up is safe for us to click on or not? Like which link is secure for us to click on?
See,
How would we
normally,
know that, sir?
yeah, normally what happens is when you get into some financial or any website, you have to know that address, this thing. If you know the address, then get into that particular address only. If you feel that that particular website has this HTTPS, that this, see, we are conducting this meet in Google, but it is a closed knit meeting because we have a definite URL that you shared and I entered, and we are only the participants who are able to access this thing. So if you are going to search for a particular this thing, data or subject in Google, see, Google has an auto prompt mechanism. Auto prompt mechanism is there in Google, and it saves your choice. It automatically saves what kind of surfing this person normally does. This is there in this Google software. So if you just don't click anything, just go to Google, and you'll see that if you go to a particular link, then all your favorites are coming. Or if you go to Facebook, for example, if you go through like movie this thing details, then those details will come in your Facebook. Everything is like tracked in your mobile. Those things are there. So if you know the particular address, just click on that address. You don't need to go in this. And if you're like going through Wikipedia or particular subject, that's different thing, but you should know the address and go to that address only.
Okay, in addition to Anjali's questions, I have another questions. Like, you were saying that we have to go to a particular website or the address where we are supposed to go. But at times it happens that we are not aware of the particular address where we need to enter. But what happened is that, like, when I go ahead and put in SBI, let's say SBI internet banking, so a lot of different websites are coming,
Yes.
which is connected to the SBI itself, right? So I see that 10 other websites are showing, and when I click, they are different. They are not the same website. So how do we understand that? What is the exact website, or what is a safe website among them?
No, that's what I discussed in the slide only. HTTPS. When
Okay.
you go to that HTTPS
Mhm.
colon backslash www.onlinesbi.com or www.axisbank.com, this will enter you into a secure system. This S should be stands for secure, and it will turn green. Any website, any this thing, school, colleges, normally they go for this HTTPS, this thing. The administrator normally will have this HTTPS S involved in that, because that's secure. And until and unless secured is there, that means you are vulnerable to the attack. But most small companies, they don't have this this thing, because they have to pay certain amount for this privilege. So if you know a particular site, any bank, any small companies, they will have S, and it will be locked in green color. So if it is not green, that means your system is little bit compromised.
Okay. Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Any more question? Any more question from participant? Sir, I have to ask myself. They say
Yes,
that
ma'am.
in organization, for example, now you are in SBI and
Hmm.
a post is created, matlab, digital banking department is there. Whether such type of services and such type of departments are open in all the banks are in India, whether they are private or this, are they using third party services? If they are using third party services, then it is little bit risky also. Matlab, what is done
No,
in private banks and others?
actually, ma'am, most of the public sector or government banks that you face, they have their own employees taking care of their particular department.
Okay.
Okay, and but with private banks, they actually outsource this to another firm, because they don't have that manpower. So this is what, as of now, I know, because going deep into these things won't be advisable, because I don't know their structure, how private
Yes.
banks are doing. So this, but for every public sector bank, they have their own people, own technical team, place to take care, handle all this sort of complaint, because it is mandatory by Government of India now.
Mhm. Okay, sir. Then one is very lay person's question, because
Hmm.
we hear all the time that your data, I mean, in mobile or in computer, the data which is there sensitive, it should be encrypted. So what is this encrypted and non-encrypted?
Encrypt
What?
and encryption means, for example, I send you. There's an option in WhatsApp that most of the things are encrypted. You and me share, ma'am, so that no third party is able to hack it. That is encryption. We encrypt it, and normal another party in a particular, like in a group, when we share data, so those are between us, though not need for any encryption. But any data that we share between two of us without involving or without letting any third party know, then we send it through encryption.
Okay, okay. So I think we have got very lively discussion. And if there is an interaction, if there is no more questions, then I just ask Anjali to proceed further.
Hello. One thing I would like to ask,
Okay, please
if,
ask.
if
Most
permit.
interactive participant. Okay, please ask.
Sir, I would like to very silly question. How bank frauds happen? Already employees are involved in bank, then how is it possible?
No, this one, yes, very nice question, because I get this question. I was actually thinking why this is not coming. Here, ma'am, this bank fraud happens because, see, most of the thing now, I mention a line: data is the new oil. Now, our data is being sold actually. Now, who sells this data? These are third party vendors who get access to, for example, a particular ATM has been issued. Then you will find that next day you will get a call that आपका ATM block हो जाएगा, आपका ये ATM का ये number दो, वरना या KYC दो, या link पे click कीजिए, ऐसे. So what happens is, this is not happening through the employees, because employees is bound by a particular rule, and they hardly have access to this data. This data has been leaked to a third party. That's why the robust system, the system IS policy, all these are getting more and more severe. And as I told you that, see, the hackers are more smarter. We only create a program to stop hacking or run a particular block a particular virus only after a certain incident has happened. It was like chor police type ka na, chor aage aage police piche piche. So we are also running after these people, but the system is now much more secure, because most of the banks, even including private banks, even all networks, they have created specialized this thing, people who handle this thing, security part. So now it shouldn't happen, but we should not share any OTP, or we should not click on any unauthorized link, even in our SMS also. We should not click on any of those. So that please remember, because if you remember just small things, hacking doesn't happen. So
Okay,
that I would say.
okay. Thank you so
Sir,
much.
before, I mean, maybe before 2 year or 1.5 year, maybe before this Corona time. I mean, I was working in life science department. From life science department, two persons, then from sociology, some other like that. So many persons have lost money, and then they inquired this and that. Then they said something cloning, SIM cloning or something.
Yes,
So in
yes,
what way
yes,
it happened? It happened in Manipur University's SBI only
yes,
from that.
yes, yes, yes,
Please,
yes.
why it has happened, sir? In what way? And
That is what I was speaking about. No, that once you find that your network goes off in your mobile, our mobile SIM network goes off. It is that particular time, at that time, that our hacking will happen. So it is like suddenly my network goes off. How? So clone is nothing but they create the same thing, and in that creating the same thing, what happens is they they have access to your mobile number, or they have access to your this personal data. That's why this SIM cloning happening. SIM cloning is very frequent, but now because of TRI has given a very this thing, very strict this thing. This is reducing. In fact, almost null now. SIM cloning.
okay, then it is
Our
very good.
data, our data actually is available everywhere. Even our Aadhaar data was
Yes,
recently,
yes.
some lakhs, it was hacked and taken out by the hackers from UIDI department. So ये तो है. These people are smart people. So we have to be careful. We have to be careful.
Yes.
Sir, already inbuilt app is available in mobile SIM cloning. Then how it will work? Already inbuilt.
No, madam. That's what I'm saying.
Hmm.
App available. See, many apps are available now. For example, if I'm handling my mobile, if I really have any other app, because this is my official number. So isme, as I told, I have two mobile. One I keep for this thing. So we don't have to download. You डाउनलोड ओनली द ट्रस्टेड साइट. फॉर एग्जांपल, मान लीजिए आपका बैंक का इंटरनेट बैंकिंग का ऐप है, वो डाउनलोड कीजिए, नो प्रॉब्लम. और आपका प्ले स्टोर में कोई अपडेट आया पर्टिकुलर साइट, नॉट ऑल साइट्स आर बैड. जो साइट्स जैसे मान लो पेटीएम है, पेटीएम डाउनलोड करो, नो प्रॉब्लम. अमेजोन है, अमेजोन डाउनलोड करो. बट there are particular sites which we download and then our phone starts giving पॉपअप जब आता है ना, तो आप समझ लीजिए कि आपका फोन, योर फोन इज कॉम्प्रोमाइज. दैट्स व्हाई वी से लाइक इन अनदर सिम व्हिच द चिल्ड्रन प्लेज और कोई दूसरा यूज करता है, तो उसमें अलग सिम दो जो आपका मोबाइल नेटवर्क से, आपका बैंक डिटेल से कनेक्टेड नहीं है. इट इज वेरी सेफ एक्चुअली. कोई भी क्लिक कर लो. देयर इज एन ऑप्शन इन प्ले स्टोर दैट इफ यू सेव योर email address and then if you save your password, that is email password, a link with your account, क्या होता है कि आपका अकाउंट में अनलिमिटेड डेबिट जा सकता है, मतलब अनलिमिटेड पैसा ले सकता है गूगल पे, वंस यू ऑथराइज देम. तो वो सब जो है ना, बाय डिफॉल्ट सेव नहीं करना है इन प्ले स्टोर. ऑल्सो प्लीज डोंट सेव इन प्ले स्टोर एनी ऑफ योर पेमेंट डिटेल्स.
So I think all are satisfied participants. No more to ask. No more question to ask. I think Anjali, we can proceed.
So now I request Maibam Vineshwari Devi to propose vote of thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Anjali. Ma'am Anjali. A lovely and warm evening to our most valued and worthy guest speaker, as Sanahal Sharma, Deputy Manager, SBI, Manipur Shakti members, all the delegates, and ladies and gentlemen. It's a matter of pride for me that I am proposing a vote of thanks for this webinar. And I, on behalf of Manipur Shakti and Yuwa Shakti Abhiyan, first of all, spread my most sincere thanks to the Lord God. And I want to thank our guest speaker, Mr. Sanahal Sharma, Deputy Manager, SBI, who gave his vital time from his busy schedule to grace this meeting, this webinar. And I would like to express my gratitude to all the esteemed delegates of the webinar for their presence and contributions to make this webinar a great success. I would like to express our sincere thanks to Mr. S. Sanahal Sharma, Deputy Manager, SBI, for giving an excellent coverage to cyber security. And like everyone must agree, I'm sure that everyone will agree that we all have learned more things today about the cybersecurity. A lot of things which I personally feel that, I was well aware about the banking system, especially about internet banking and app bankings. But I also realized that there were lots of things which was not understood by myself, and I have understand it fully today with your explanations and the coverage that you have given with that. Thank you for that, sir. And I also remember that you talk about Cyber Suraksha Bharat and the vision for digital India, and it is important for every one of us to have mobile banking to make our life easier. Though we also need to be aware that we have to be very careful for all the uh, access that we are using, so that we make ourselves safe on our banking systems, right? And we should not have, like you also said us, that we should not save password for auto access even in our own mobile system or a laptop, so that we are safe, right? Safe from the hackers to get into our data. Okay. And I really appreciate that you mention and remind everyone that, that we should not click unauthorized link or the email, because I realize that at times when I talk to my other friends, they were very excited when they come out with a link saying that, you have won a lottery of 2 lakhs, and they really want to try that. Then now you have explained how it can hack our system and how they can loot us as well. So thank you for all those small informations, which is very important for every one of us to understand how we have to put ourselves on the safe side of banking. Thank you, sir. And further, we are grateful, and I may like to express two sincere thanks to Mr. Sanahal Sharma, Deputy Manager, SBI, for such a knowledgeable insight on the cybersecurity. And I also wish to express my gratitude to all the invitees and delegates and Manipur Shakti member for providing awareness of the cybersecurity. And I am also very grateful to Professor Asa Gupta, President Manipur Shakti, for her analysis of cybersecurity. Last but not least, we cannot thank everyone enough for your involvement and your willingness to participate. And we thank you for being with us this evening. It's been a great pleasure. Thank you so much, everyone. Over to you, Anjali.
Thank you so much, Maibam Vineshwari Devi, for proposing vote of thanks. Now I request Professor Asha Gupta, President Manipur Shakti, to do the Shanti part and declare today's webinar as closed.
सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. With this, I declare the webinar as closed.